So the first one that we have, and I've got some pictures of me from a past life. The first one is leveler. Now, leveler is like this. Your feet are slightly further apart than we've had you for the trainer state. Yep. So wider apart than your shoulders. You've got equal weight on both feet. So it's a balanced physiology. It's a symmetrical physiology down the midline. Your hands are flat and pointing away from you at about waist height. And you move them downwards and outwards slowly like this, whilst lowering the pitch of your voice. Always keeping the hands facing forwards at all time. And what you do whilst you're using leveler is you'd actually bring the speed of your voice down and the pitch and the volume of your voice down towards the end of the movement. What leveler actually communicates to somebody is, let me level with you. Let me tell you the way things work around here. Because you see, the way things work around here is this. We either do it my way, or we do not do it at all. So I'm being completely frank. I'm leveling with you. This is the absolute truth. This is the way that it is. Okay? That's the physiology of that for leveler, and the voice that goes with it. Now the next one, Placata, looks very similar. Because the only difference is that the hands are upwards, palms upwards, and they're moving outwards and upwards rather than inwards and downwards. But notice the difference that it has on the inside of you. If I'm doing leveler like this, leveling with you, and then I switch it to that. Does that feel different? It does, doesn't it? Now, if I was to show you the full-on Placata, real full-on Placata, it would be this. Please, just tell me what it is you want me to do. I will do anything you want. I just want you to be happy. Just tell me what you want. Just give me the word. I'll say yes. Just tell me what you want. Of course, anything you want, I'll just say yes straight away. That's what Placata actually communicates. Notice that the voice is slightly different too. Yeah. So Placata is the person who just wants to placate you. He or she just wants you to be placated, wants to be happy, and whatever you need me to do to have you be happy, you've got it. You've got any of it, whatever it is that you want. Notice that actually that's very different from this. The physiology is only very, very slight change, isn't it? Yeah. Now, the next one is blamer. Now, blamer. Now, in actual fact, you're actually going to be able to use your feet. Because blamer, what you need is you need to have one foot in front of the other. And you need to lean forwards and point at the audience. Now you're using a very different voice tonality with this because it's about blaming. This is down to you. This has nothing to do with me whatsoever. You need to take responsibility for your own action. When you go out there and you're massively successful, do not blame me. It is totally your fault. That's blamer. So it's your fault, it's down to you. But notice what I did. What I actually did was I blamed you for success rather than blaming you for failure, which is a bit of a flip over. It's also useful for putting major points in. There are 3 things I want you to get about this. The first thing I want you to get is this. The second thing is this. And the third is this. Now you'll see this particular physiology in this Satir category used a lot by motivational speakers. Because what it does is it really brings the energy up in the room. But you'll notice that when I'm doing this, I'm not pointing at any individual person. I am pointing over the tops of your heads, which is the correct way to do it. So in the exercise, remember that. Because I've told you, this is the way to do it. Oops, don't want that one yet. Then there is computer. Now computer is Mr. or Mrs. Super Cool. hyper-intelligent, definitely knows the facts about everything. Mr. Super logical, super rational, the archetypical university lecturer, college professor. So, I mean, if you think about it with the Satir categories, they would work. Since, 1970, the study of communication and kinesics with Professor Burt Whistle, University of Pennsylvania, he did actually say that 55% of the meaning of communication was in the physiology, only 38% being the voice tonality and 7% being in the words. But of course, you knew that anyway. And when you think about it, with your experience, it does make a lot of sense. Wouldn't you say? I mean, well, it doesn't matter what you say, really, because the statistics prove it. Anyway. Then we have Distractor. And Distractor is just completely, totally asymmetrical. It's kind of like, what are you looking at me for? It wasn't me. It's not my fault. Hey, it's not down to me. This isn't me. Just completely, I don't know. So, and it's asymmetrical all the way down from the feet. It's kind of, the feet are all over the place. And the thing with the Distractor is that at first, they seem to be saying things that are quite sensible and logical and quite relevant to the point. But when you think about it afterwards, you think, what was that all about? They never really said anything at all. It was just words. It was just distracting. So those are the 5 Satir categories. Now, the interesting things start to happen when you put them all together. Now, I can tell you now, when you go out and to the next exercise, and you play the Satir categories at 100%, you'll notice that your presentation goes to a whole new level. You may even find that it's the best presentation you have ever done in your entire life. But if you think about it, it wouldn't make sense because, before we weren't letting you use your legs or your arms or anything like that. You could only speak, which was really tying you down to only 7% of the meaning of communication. Now we're giving you 100% back. So it wouldn't be logical to think that it would be the best presentation that you've ever done in your life, even if you don't immediately experience it that way right now. But I'll tell you, go out there into the next exercise. Do the Satir categories at 100%. Really play them up. Take them right out to the limit. And when you have gone out there and you've done that and you've had a full-on experience of that being the best fucking presentation you have ever done in your entire life, don't blame me, because it's got nothing to do with me. It's got to do with you. I can't do your presentation for you. Only you can do your presentation yourself. It's got nothing to do with me. I just give you the instructions. Just go out there and do it, all right? Please? So that's the Satir categories. Played out to the limit, I must add.